Hey, what's up guys, this is Rob Hanks and today we're gonna create a guitar tone together. So I'm gonna start from scratch. I'm using the Kemper Stage MK2 and I'm gonna use CHOPTONES Kemper Profiles. Even if you don't have the Kemper or if you are not a Kemper user, I think maybe this video will have some tips, hints that you can use on your favorite modeler, on your favorite multi-effects. So let's go from the top. So I have here you can see some of the profiles that I already created, and I'm gonna take here the 9th slot, that is new performance. So you can see here on the right there's only a standard crunch that comes with it, which is kind of nice. It's kind of cool. So what I'm gonna do, my idea, I need to create like a hard rock tone, and I felt like, hey, I could share the experience, because sometimes we struggle to find different tones. Usually I have 3 types of tones. I have like a really classy pop rock, heavy rock, heavy metal, and I have other types of profiles that I use is like metal, really metal. So just sharing a little bit my signal chain. You guys can't see, but below here my table I have my Kemper Stage, I have my guitar, I have my Solar with my Fishman Pickups, Fishman Fluence Modern. I'm using the Rotosound Strings R10, I'm using Dunlop Picks, I'm using Quilter Tone Block 202. Usually I use Quilter speakers as well when I'm playing live and etc. When I'm creating my tone, I like to have some legendary speakers. So here on this cabinet, I have the Celestion G12T75, that for me it's really in between metal, pop rock. It works for almost like everything. So when I'm creating my tone, cabinet-wise, I like to hear through those speakers. I have one output coming out from my Kemper that comes here without impulse response, because what it is an impulse response? Impulse response, it's a simulation of a cabinet. So if I'm sending my signal to a cabinet, it doesn't make sense to use with the impulse response activated, because I have a cabinet. So luckily Kemper Stage has 2 outputs that I can disengage. I'm gonna show here in the screen. We can go here in output. Here on the monitor out, I select every time cabinet off. On your Kemper Stage and some modelers or multi-effects, you have 2 different outputs. So my main output always have impulse response. My monitor out always doesn't have impulse response. So my cabinet simulation is off. So just since I'm talking about the output settings here, there's something that I really love. The pure cabinet, usually I leave on, intensity 2 and space 2. It simulates the feeling that you have hearing a real cabinet. So don't overlook the pure cabinet when you are trying to create a tone, especially creating a tone for live performances. And that's it. So for my output settings, going back from the top, I have here CHOPTONES. I have some packs that I really love. They fit most, I would say, all my needs. I'm gonna take the pack Metal Modern 1, usually because I love the EVH Stealth. First thing that I do. So here I have my performance ready to receive some profiles. So usually first profile I have a clean, second clean with a small bite, a small distortion, a small overdrive I would say. Third one it's like my heavy channel but with soft distortion, a little bit less of gain. And my 5th one, it's always like lead, so lots of gain, different volume. So first thing that I go in my heavy sound. That's my first to go. Then I'm gonna come back here. So it's selected 4th. So on the Kemper Stage, I have like 5 buttons. So on each one, button number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm gonna have each of those profiles. We're gonna start with my heavy channel. So first thing that I do, so metal modern, just for you guys to hear. In this part, I'm gonna disengage the guitar being recorded straight. So okay, now you guys are hearing only the cabinet. So I have some amps on the Metal Modern pack 1, the pack from CHOPTONES. So I have a Randall Thrasher. So I have a Diesel VH4. This is straight into my cabinet. Now I have like an EVH. And it doesn't matter. Since CHOPTONES, they record the amp DI, so you can mix and match amps, heads, and after with cabinets, and they sound amazing. So let's say I have the EVH here, the CHP EV Modern, and the EV Stack, same tone, because I'm bypassing the impulse response, and you are hearing only the head. Okay, now this is an angle fireball. And this other one, it's an angle, but I don't know this one. Maybe on the comments you guys can help me. My ears are really attracted by EVH. So that's my to-go profiles when I'm trying to find something metal and heavy as well. The difference is gonna be the impulse response. So that's my first check. Straight into the cabinet with a power amp, a reliable power amp. So far I really love this. Amazing. Second part, I found the amp that I love for distortion. So now I'm gonna mute my power amp and I'm gonna unmute what is being recorded in my Logic Pro, and now the different in cabinet that I'm gonna use is gonna make a huge difference. So let's see. Let's test the CHOPTONES EV Modern. Amazing. So it's here the cabinet being used. It's a Mesa Boogie, oversized 4x12. Another option, I have an EDI. It means an EVH 4x12. So you can hear it has more mids. It goes towards like the brown sound. Here I don't have as much gain required for this riff, but you guys can have an idea. Here, the Diesel. And this one is being used for lead. So usually it has more gain, it has delay, so let's test this one. This one is using the impulse response Diesel as well, 4x12. So you can hear the delay. This is kind of ready for your lead tones. Sounds really good. So since I'm choosing the profile for my fourth foot switch, I need to find a rhythm distortion that is heavy. So I'm gonna go with the EV Modern. By standard, you have already from CHOPTONES some suggested effects. So I have here already a Kemper drive. This is gonna act like a tube screamer. Here in front, there's a noise gate. So there's two noise gates, and on Kemper, this is one of the best ways to deal with distortion. Here on your input, there's one noise gate you can use here. On the fixed effects, there's a noise gate if you wanna use. And here you can use a separate noise gate. So like you can use like 3 noise gates. Usually I like to have separate noise gate, not here in the section fixed effects. So let's do a test. My threshold now is for 4.7. So there you go, the noise gate. Now I'm gonna increase the threshold. Since I have Fishman modern pickups, there's a very aggressive and high output. So if it was, let's say, a single coil, this would be dead just in the beginning. I'm gonna increase the threshold. So you can hear that the sound disappeared earlier. This is the second noise gate. And on the input, I can increase the noise gate. So I'm gonna decrease the second one. Much longer, right? I'm gonna increase a lot, noise gate. So the gate acted sooner because now it's in 8.2. So that's the thing. If you're using lots of gain, you need to use a higher noise gate. But if you have solos, especially high notes, could you hear? It cut it. So sometimes we want some long notes to ring. Yeah, with the tail. And sometimes we just want something abrupt because we are doing chuggy. So noise gate is mainly for this. This is the first thing that I use in my chain. So okay, so all of this is coming straight from the profile that was made from CHOPTONES. So I'm choosing the EV Modern as my rhythm. So I'm just gonna go a little bit quick here on the settings that I usually use. So here I would say input, noise gate 4.4, and my second noise gate, yes, I have an extra one, let's say like 4.4. Yes, I'm weird, I like to have even numbers, so yeah, deal with that. After this I have the tube screamer. This is the one suggested from the profile that was already created, but I can add a different one. So here Kemper Drive, a Maxon 808 or tube screamer, right? On minimum, mild, maximum, or here on distortion, green scream, green scream. You can have like boost, crunch, mellow, full. Usually boost, it chugs a lot. But in this case, I'm gonna trust the guys from CHOPTONES, because here everything sounds really like real life. Drive, when you're pushing an amplifier to have more distortion and more definition on the mid-range frequencies, that's mainly the task that we use and engage the tube screamer. Our drive, it's really, the gain is really low, tone half, and volume on top, maximum. That's how you boost in front of your amp. So you can see on my signal chain, it's before my amplifier. This is already amazing. I'm gonna disengage. I'm thinking about heavy metal, so I'm not gonna use lots of those effects. Yeah, some chorals I could use, but not now. And okay, there's a graphic equalizer that was already applied straight from the profile made by CHOPTONES. So in this graphic equalizer, I can see that there's a low cut and a high cut. So everything is bypassed, nothing is being boosted. It's just to cut those extra low frequencies and to adjust the high frequencies. It's almost like a mixing and mastering ready, this EQ. Just here we have something amazing. So let's say some this is more chuggy, more metal, but let's say something more hard rock. Yes, there's lots of gain. If you want to have something less chuggy, less metal, I just disengaged my tube screamer. Sounds great. Now I like to have a reverb. There's the Legacy reverb from Kemper, that's my favorite. But I don't like to have a really big room reverb. So I'm just gonna decrease here for something like 0.7, 0.9. Okay, let's go 0.9. So there's like room being used. More room and mix really low as well. It's just to have like a small touch. Really nice. So here I would say that I have my rhythm, heavy rhythm done. But there's a small difference between this and with a tube screamer. Noise gate is active perfectly. Without. Amazing. Let's check on the amplifier how much gain we have. So we have like a gain 6.9, everything flat. We can adjust after. Usually I like to do like some fine tuning on the EQ, but so far it sounds really great. But since I want something with definition, I'm gonna leave the way it is, with the option to activate the Kemper drive. So here, replace performance, syncing performance. So if I go here below, Rob Hanks, Kemper Profiler, my fourth foot switch is saved with this preset. So let's see, I just clicked on the third one, and this is the one we just did. Amazing, right? So now I need my lead. Since on Metal Modern there was something already done for lead, I'm gonna follow some suggestions. So let's see. Okay, first we just need to make sure we have selected the right foot switch, because if we save something, it's gonna be saved on the foot switch we selected before. So Metal Modern, I'm gonna go EV lead. Okay, nice, it's active. So let's see what we have here already. So we have a delay. On the EQ, there's no low cut. A high cut, almost the same that we had before. We have a Kemper drive already engaged. Amplifier, now we have more gain. Before we had 6.9, now we have 7.8. So here, there you go, a difference. If you have more gain, sometimes the notes, they connect easier. Right? So if I want to do like a melodical line, nice. After we're gonna tweak together the impulse response. I really like the ones they suggested, but I think there's always improvement to be done. But this is my personal taste. For some people, this is already perfect. That's it. On my taste, I have a pack with impulse responses from CHOPTONES that I have some different options. You guys are gonna hear the difference. Okay, so now the only thing different we have, amp is the same. Graphic EQ, it's almost the same. Since this is gonna be for leads, low cut, okay, it's off, doesn't matter that much. So I'm gonna just clear some space. Even though we have like the CPU of the new Kemper is crazy, nothing crashes here, it's amazing. Delay, yes, we want. But I love an analog delay. So let's go here. 2-tap delay, analog ping pong, that's my favorite. Because there's almost like a small modulation in the end. I love this. But the mix is too high. So I'm gonna decrease like 50 note value. It's nice. Feedback we can decrease a little bit. Otherwise your playing is gonna be sloppy. Now it's nice. There's like some amazing, I love this. So this is gonna be for my lead channel. The reverb, I'm gonna use the same one as before, so low type, same thing, let's say 0.9 and something close to 20%. Small room, that's it, just to have some ambience. And on my, okay, so noise gate, before I like to have like even numbers, 4.4, but now we are using a lead channel. So I'm gonna decrease a little bit, 3.3, input, yes. Before I was using like a 4.4, I'm gonna use 3.3. I still have like an amazing sustain, but I don't have noise in the end. I really love this. Really nice. So I'm gonna save this. This is really nice for a lead. Now we're gonna create something crunch wise. Since on the pack Metal Modern 1 there's already some options using the EVH 5150. I was using the EV Modern Mic EVH since the amp is the same, but here I can see less gain. So let's see what is happening here. We have already less gain. Usually I like to take the suggestion from CHOPTONES. Why? Because this profile, this photo was taken from the amp on those settings. So instead of tweaking that, since Kemper has the liquid profiling, but in order to have the liquid profiling, I should have amp model matching exactly the amp that I'm using. Since I don't want to change something here and the gain is already less than the previous one I was using, I'm gonna go with this one for my third foot switch. So I'm just gonna make sure I am on the third one. Yes, I am. So I'm gonna go back to Metal Modern 1. This one has less, amazing. So I'm gonna clear some CPU because I don't use lots of those. Reverb, legacy reverb, low type, 0.9, same stuff. Around 20, small room. This is more a rhythm. So let's say some AC/DC. I know it's an EVH. It's more high gain than the standard rock and roll, but I don't know, it sounds amazing as well. So amplifier, so I'm gonna save this one as my third one. Really cool. Now I have my overdrive, my heavy metal rhythm, and I have my lead. Now I need a clean and clean with a bite. On this pack Metal Modern, most of the ones here, they are high gain. I want something towards clean, but like tube clean. So if we go on Rock Pack 1, on this pack there's lots of classic amplifiers, and there's one here, custom PT50. I think you guys know. There's a Pete Crunch. Phenomenal. I'm gonna use this as my second one. I'm gonna select my favorite one, Pete Crunch. And now this is my overdrive. Now with my neck pickup. Really cool. Okay, so I'm gonna do the same thing. Gonna clean. Okay, so now the phaser was before. I'm just gonna move this one here to be organized. On this one we have more drive in case we need. I don't want that huge difference on this foot switch. On this part, on the second foot switch, I like to have just like a overdrive, small overdrive. So I'm gonna activate here 808 minimum. Without. Cool. I want to have the option to activate whenever I want, so I'm gonna leave like this, disengaged. Noise gate 3.3. We can use less because now we have less gain, so we don't need to have lots of noise gate, but there's noise gate is always required for silence. Let's activate my favorite delay here on this part. So let's say around 45, it's okay. 40%, amazing. Amazing. For this type of tone, sounds great. So this is gonna be my second foot switch. Let's save. And now let's select the first one. I'm gonna go on the Rock Pack. I'm gonna take the same one, Pete Crunch, because I really loved the tone. But now I'm gonna decrease the gain. Now that I reduce the gain to 1, it's clean. But there's a small bite of distortion in case I want. threshold really less. We don't want noise, so I'm gonna have noise gate every time. Let's see what is happening here on the graphic equalizer. Something is being changed here. So we have like 1.4 decibels extra on the frequency of 250 hertz. I really love the tone without changes, so I'm just gonna bypass, let's say just leave at 0. Low cut, I'm gonna use the same one as before, 88. Sounds phenomenal. Okay, so I'm just cleaning space here. This is a clean channel, so I'm not gonna engage like a tube screamer, and I'm gonna save. So what do we have so far? We have this as a clean channel, and crunch, my rock and roll distortion, more gain, freaking amazing. And this is for my lead. Beautiful. So now we found out the tones I'm gonna be using for my heavy rock, heavy gig. But now I'm gonna change the cabinet, the impulse response. So I'm gonna use this one as a reference. So here I have the CHOPTONES Metal Pack Volume 3. It's impulse responses. Usually I like to go with 44 kilohertz. Here on README, there's all the instructions. I'm gonna discard the instructions and I'm just gonna follow my ear, whatever I want. Because sometimes, I like the Mesa Boogie oversized. Sometimes I like the EVH with eminence speakers. Follow your ear. That's the best advice that I can give you. So 44 hertz, and I have here some options. So the way I do, I just leave here the folder open, and really quick, I just go, let's say, one by one, testing something that pleases my ear. So I'm gonna play a riff, let's say Man on the Silver Mountain from Rainbow. So far, 19 is my favorite. Now 17. Still 19 is my favorite. 16. I'm gonna check 16 I really loved. So 19. 16. No. No, too much mids and treble. 10 is freaking amazing. So I'm gonna compare 10 and 19. That was my favorite. I love this open sound. So for now, 10 is my favorite. I'm gonna compare 10 and 16. It's really hard. So I'm gonna keep 10 and 16. Next one. 9 is amazing. Between 9 and 10. 9 has more bass. 9 is amazing. Too closed. 7. Too treble-ish. Treble. Too dark. This is chug metal like Meshuggah. Nice. I'm gonna compare this one with 9. 9 for now is really balanced. Really balanced. So 3, 1. Too bassy. 315. It's out of order. It's my fault, but that's okay. Too much middle. No. Too bright. So we have a winner. 3.9. Phenomenal. Like in a live situation, we use one cabinet. So now that I found the cabinet that I love, I'm gonna apply the same impulse response to all of them. Just by curiosity, 3.9, let's check what it is. 3.9 is based on a Mesa Boogie 2x12 cab loaded with Celestion V30s and Shure SM57 and Rover R121 as microphones. So this is the winner. So now it's 3.9. Okay, now I really need to be careful to not lose something. So here you can see cabinet, it's selected, the new one from CHOPTONES. So I'm gonna save. Now I'm gonna go on the next one, same thing. I'm just gonna drag and drop. Save. It went out from my performance, so I just do a double click. You see, it's there again. Same impulse response, because it makes sense like with real life. You use usually one cabinet. Us mere mortals, because we don't have all the money in the world to have like 15 cabinets behind us. So that's it. Cool. So cab, okay, it went out again. This one here, Pete Crunch, same thing. 3.9. It went out, but if I click replace, it's gonna be saved. And double click, last one, 2. Same thing, save. Beautiful. I'm gonna change this one to Rob, Hanks, heavy, and rock. Because I don't have a creativity now, so it's gonna be heavy and rock. That's it. So it's saved. Let's see how it sounds. Beautiful. This one. This one. Now bridge pickup. Now this one is for like classic riffs. More again. Phenomenal. And my lead tone. Amazing. So, final touch. Let's go in rig. On every foot switch from Kemper, you can have the morphing. What is morphing? So, if I click foot switch number 1 a second time, let's say the 5th foot switch is active now. So if I click a second time, it's gonna go into morphing. Check here. So this is like a second setting within the same foot switch. So usually rise time and fall time, if you want to have some effects coming in slowly or fading out slowly, you play with rise and fall. I want to have instant action. 5th one is my lead channel, so I really love to have like high volume. So I'm gonna go back. My first touch on the foot switch is gonna bring me plus 4 decibels. That's my to-go volume to do solos, plus 4. But let's say in a recording session, if I wanna just record same volume, I'm just gonna go here. And now the second touch on my foot switch is gonna bring the volume to normal standards that usually I have on my output. I have always selected minus 12 dB. Minus 12 dB is the best one for you to have headroom and for the sound engineer to play with your sound. So always have in mind minus 12 dB, okay? Beautiful. So rig, so now I have my morphing active. I'm gonna save. Every time I do something, I save. We need to. So same thing, rig. Now for all the other foot switches, my first touch on the foot switch is gonna have 0. But within that foot switch, if I wanna increase the volume temporarily for like a melody or a small line, I can. Then I have like a lower volume than my lead. So let's say plus 3 dB, it's perfect. So usually it's nice to have 2 different volumes. For your solo, you go full punch. For small melodies, you have less than your solo patch. So this is like plus 3 dB. Save. Same thing. Rise and fall 0. I want immediate action. Plus 3. Let's go back. Same thing. this one as well. First, rise. Now click here. +3. Beautiful. I'm ready to do a show now. I have everything I need. Let me just save again. So let's see, if I'm playing something clean, I'm gonna press number 1 again. There you go, we have a difference. Okay, I forgot to remove a graphic equalizer here from this part. And from now on, you can add your favorite effects. For example, I really love a tremolo, pulp friction, rate, I really love 4.5. Amazing. I'm gonna deactivate this. Sometimes a reverb. Okay, I'm gonna save this. I really loved the tremolo on this position on clean. And let's say here my overdrive distortion. If you add a reverb before the amp, you can have some cool effects. This is just an experiment for you guys to see options. Personally, I'm really happy. So let's go with my tones. Let's say again, so clean. If I need to play something clean, my crunch channel. Phenomenal. My heavy overdrive. Fourth. Lots of gain. It's freaking phenomenal. And this is my lead channel. There you go. So I really hope this video was useful for you. So please, if you like this one, make sure to follow and subscribe, and see you on the next video. Rob Hanks. Take care.